Hello, YouTube. I'm getting back to this venture of posting content on YouTube. I had a client recently really be quite emphatic about the fact that I have helped her through so much, and the videos that come after really are beneficial. So this reaches who it is meant to reach. I trust that. If it is for you, you can decide for yourself. So what I want to talk about today, I went out on a walk, got nice and hot, face is all red, doesn't matter. I want to talk about how we show up when we're mid-cycle. And what I mean by mid-cycle is you desire something, and it may be small and may be large, but for you, it's feeling so large because you feel like you are needing to figure things out, and you're hearing all this content, you're taking in all this information, trying to implement it, trying to take theory and put it into practice. And you're thinking, okay, maybe I'm very, very intuitive. Maybe I'm very psychic. Maybe you have a really good relationship with your angels and your guides and things like that. And maybe you don't yet, and you're working towards that. Maybe that is part of your desire. But there is a huge aspect of it that seems unsurmountable because you've been putting the work in mentally, physically, emotionally, and you're still spinning. And you're probably hearing from people like, when's this going to happen for you? That may be the voice in your head. That may be your conscious mind saying, just stay here, stay comfortable. If you're looking to have your business grow and you want to get out of, say, your 9 to 5 and you're doing services and you want that business to grow and it hasn't. And you know it, you see it, you can feel it, you can embody that person, you can do all the things that you feel like you have been told to do. And it's not coming in. It's not there yet. I've been there. You might start hearing things that make you go in another direction, and that is distraction. Okay, maybe you shouldn't do it. Maybe you should. And you have the start and the stop and the procrastination and the oh shit moments of like, I'm letting people down. I'm letting, other people are not seeing this come in fast enough for me to be able to prove and show that I got this when you know that you do. And that can be hard to manage. That could be hard to navigate. And that's fine. That's fine. But you are in a new container of self. A new container of how you perceive the world. A new container of how you perceive the universal information, how you move with it in time and space as a human. And it is different. And it is not going to look how it looks for somebody else. So when you're coming into these manifestation techniques and you're hearing what worked for somebody else, you are here as a different person having this individual experience with the unity of the whole as a human. In spirit, things move fast. When you are an interdimensional being, things move fast for you. And you have this memory encoded within you, so you remember how fast things move. That's why children get so upset when things don't happen now. And we still have that. We have that inner child. We have that inner interdimensional. We have that spirit within us where things move fast. We think it and it goes. But here, in this material world, in this density where we get to experience life as a human and we get to touch our bodies and touch other bodies and like hold our loved ones and have communication where we are feeling emotion through our bodies is a new and amazing experience that we get to have. And people say life is hard. When people say that, it detracts from the fact that yes, life is hard, but there's so many other things. There's so many other great things. And when I connect with the higher self and we talk through clients, there is the just be. Just be in this moment. It is special. And it may be painful at this moment, but that is something that's information you get to work with, not live in. You're not walking around as a human as pain. Pain is not your existence. You can identify with that and take that on for a period of time, wear that as your, coat and suit, and like do your hair as pain and walk around as pain. You can identify with that. But you can take that off. You can wash off that face. You can take those clothes, go bury them, burn them, whatever you got to do. And you can move through pain. And the more that you do that, the faster it becomes. It becomes more of a temporary feeling that you know that on the other side of it, you have let go of something that you no longer need. And you may be doing a lot of that mid-cycle. You may have done a lot of that in the beginning, and you thought, oh gosh, I just went through so much release and letting go of my old identity. Friends, family that are not good for me to be around. Things like that. You may have made some big moves. But mid-cycle, now that you're in this new container, you're in the ocean. You're swimming in a big, big sea. And you were in a little lake before. So the waves are different. The water consistency, like the salt, there's salt in the water. You're getting used to the way things feel, the way things move and undulate in your life now. And there's so much happening in the ocean that wasn't happening in the lake. So much life, so much presence, so much healing in a different way too. That salt water is healing. The echo of the dolphins coursing through your body from a distance to you. Healing, new information, new assistance, new frequencies. So, in your earth moment, in human form, this moment in time, it doesn't matter what time is. Time is irrelevant. We see it as this marker, and that's fine. And it can be fun to see and look back on and be like, oh, I remember that, when that happened at this time. But don't use it as a pressure point that you are fixated on. Because when you just become present in a moment, you let all those things in the ocean that are there to help you accelerate the path. Excuse me. I had to tend to something. You let it accelerate the path. Meaning, it's not that the path is moving faster. It's just that you're now allowing things to happen that were already there, that you were trying to somehow figure out in the back of your mind or in the forefront of your mind. And they're already figured out. You're already walking in a new identity. Continue to do that. Continue to move forward as that person. Yes, that person you want to be. What would they do in their day? How would they move differently? And not big things. They can be so small. It could be the way you think. It could be what you chose for lunch that day. It doesn't all need to be so monumental, so big to make a really huge difference. So as you're moving through this mid-cycle, stay certain that your desire came to you, that you desire it because it is meant for you, and you will have it. You will. You can stop it and you can decide to go in a different direction. Totally fine. That's what you get to do in this human life. It's not wrong. But know that if you continue to just move forward, become present, move through the pain and the doubt, and don't let it be the driver, but let it sit over here in the background. And know that when it comes up, you don't have to start over. You don't have to stall out. You don't have to get stuck. But maybe it's coming up as some information. Talk to it. Hey, pain, I see you. Or hey, doubt, I see you. You know that's coming from your conscious mind, not the bigger part of your mind. that has more power. So let the other side have more power. Ask the doubt and the pain to talk. What does it want to say? And just let something flow. It could be one word. Let it flow. Feel it. Let it out. And then talk to the other side. Higher self, what do you want to tell me in place of that? What actually is the truth right now? What is present? What is actively happening in my existence here right now? When you get that cheerleader, that positive, like, all right, you got this, or hey, no, that is actually false at this time. That is an old identity and you can let that go. It could be as simple as that. It could be the exact opposite of what the pain or the doubt said. And that is your higher self working with you. And the more that you continue to work with your higher self, the more information download comes through. And sometimes all you need is just a tiny little word to work with, to move it, to move through that doubt and the fear, to move through that moment where you feel like you're stuck, and elevate. That elevated presence, your elevated energy, your elevated frequency does help. I like to go do a handstand and walk outside in the sun or the rain or in the moonlight. That helps me shift and breathe. Oh, breath. Use your human body to move through the heavier things. Let your body move those heavier things out. And just be conscious with it. Hey, I'm moving you out. I'm moving you out. You get to be in the back seat because my higher self has got me. It's okay. We're going to be good. You don't have to be mean. You don't have to be mean to pain. You don't have to be mean to doubt. Just, hey, I see you. That's not where I'm focusing. That's not where I'm going. Give me the message so I can understand. So you stop nagging. It's like, when a little kid is nagging at their mom's pant leg. Mom, 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 mom. Okay? You can stop nagging. And you can then say, okay, cool. Okay, that's past identity. Or that's old version of me. Or, oh, we already worked through that. It's okay. It's okay. The higher self has this. I am certain. And you don't have to hold us there anymore. We're safe. Okay? Something I like to say is everything always works out. I talked to my friend about this recently, and everything in life has always worked out, right? Even when things were really crappy for an extended period of time, I didn't know how to move through emotions. And in my younger years, I didn't know how to be positive. I was so negative and everything sucks and this doesn't work and that doesn't work. And I tried this and failed at that. But then there was also a part of me that knew that I could do it. So the little curmudgeon was so strong. So what I heard was feedback from a person that I went to college with. And it was a whole group in my math class that I sat with. And they were like, you are really hard on yourself. That's really, you're really mean to yourself. I was like, The way they said that, I heard. People may have tried to tell me in the past, but I didn't hear it. I didn't receive it. It kind of just went whoop. And I thought, oh, that's changing now. That's ugly. I don't want to do that. So I started to shift and move those things out as a way and let those walls down, because I had all these walls up. And that's fine. Once you recognize them, you can drop them down. And you don't need to make it hard. Just drop them down. And expand. I like to just go up my chakra system, just spiral up with some golden light or some breath, or just say, hey, or expanding out and knowing that you have the power. Okay? You have so much power over what happens in your life. Starting with what happens in your mind and your body and your field, like just like here, your own personal hug space. So where we are now, we have helped create, and we can then shift that focus and we can move that energy to a positive direction for our minds, our bodies, and spirits so fast by just expanding out, using your breath, using your imagery, and just moving through it. When you use your imagination and you just call on your higher self, call on your spirit guides, whoever you want, work with them, have fun with them, ask them for guidance. You may not hear it at that moment, and that's fine, but know that they are working on your behalf when you ask, and that they're there, and that you may receive the message later and you're consciously receive it. But in this mid-cycle, keep moving. And it could just be changing the way you think about just one thing consciously that day and having that aha moment. That could be so much bigger than you actually give it credit for. You just created a new neural pathway. You just helped your whole field start to heal, start to signal something different out into the world, the universe for you, so that you are moving closer to your desire. So your desire is moving closer to you, and then you can meet. And when you do, it's going to be so like, oh, of course. Of course. And when I do sessions with clients who are in that mid-cycle, time is really relative. So the higher self doesn't really like to give time because that can change. The amount of time it takes for the desire to come in really depends on many nuances. Like the small actions, the micro actions you take, the thoughts you think, and knowing that if you think something negative, that you're not messing up. That may be coming up so that you can have a moment with it and let it go. Maybe it was like in there and it needed to be released. But the higher self is always saying, be present, just come back to you. Come back to the moment. Come back to what's great in your life. Look around you. There's so many beautiful things in this world. Trees and flowers and the cats in the office here just laying down, sleeping and snoring together. I love that. You may not. It's okay. What is it for you? And start just rattling off the things in your life that you think are beautiful, that you think are bring you joy and happiness, or that maybe would. So, mid-cycle. If you can get to a point where you just let go of one thing, just even one thing, one aspect of it, and just say, all right, higher self, creator, universe, whoever you give it to, that has a higher perspective, and say, I'm trusting that you're going to guide me in this. And you don't control the guidance. Oh, I need to have a step forward from this on this, tomorrow or right now, or, let it come, because it's then going to be able to come naturally. You may not even realize that you're doing it, that things are coming to you, but you want to be able to let go of the control, because if we start to try and control, we're going to have a limited view of how things should look. And when you have that limited view of how things should look as they come in and look and feel and whatever it is, then you might miss the opportunities that are presented in front of you. And always know that your guides and your higher self and the universe is only going to give you what you can handle. So what you can handle may only be like, a tiny piece of the steak. You have to chew that and swallow it before you get the whole thing. You can't fit the whole thing in your mouth and you might choke, and that's a big problem. So you're going to get bite size. Sometimes it'll feel like a lot and it's really obvious. And at other times it's not going to be so obvious. Just know what you're doing is working. When I was really developing my psychic skills, I was told that. And I was like, but I want to see. I had this great claircognizance, clairsentience. I could sometimes hear things, and then I could sometimes see things. And what I realized is I was always seeing things. But I had this specific way that I thought it was supposed to come through. And turns out I was just getting in my own way. So I'm going to leave you with that today. And know that you can talk to all of your emotions. You could get to know them. They'll give you information back. They'll give you feedback. And sometimes it's in words. Sometimes it's in more of like just a sense of knowing. And you can start to get to know you better. You could get to know the parts of you better. You could get to know all the facets of your personal world, human world, because all of those things feel so ethereal because they're unseen. But they're seen through us, through our bodies. And anyway, and they also create, the existence of our body and how we feel, our health and all that. So get to know those things. Anyway, if you are mid-cycle, you will have your desire if that is the path that you want to continue on. And for those of us who've done it many times over, keep going. We're your cheerleaders. Sometimes it feels like it takes forever, and then sometimes it feels like it's in an instant. So keep going and ask for your higher self and your spirit guides. Ask for their help. They can help. And know that sometimes it doesn't look the way you thought it was going to look, but it will look better. All right. And take what resonates and leave what doesn't. This is your experience. If you want personalized help, I have an 8-week transformation, higher self alignment transformation program. And I also have past life regressions, and we connect with your higher self. I have coaching and messaging coaching available. So let me know through higherselfhealsyou.com. You can book your consultation.